Okay, so this is a small demo on how to draw stones. So the first thing you want to avoid is to draw stones like post toasties floating in milk or whatever in your cereal bowl, that kind of thing, with these large gaps in between. And then you also want to avoid doing this, coloring in very dark between these lines, and then you end up with this kind of texture like that. So what you do want to do is work with a very sharp pencil and define an area that you're going to be working in. And so that's your wall. Then you're going to apply texture to this. So let's just say that this wall has thickness like that, and I want to put stone texture on it. So remember, a stone wall or whatever is works in 3 dimensions, but it's good to start on the side that's the biggest side, and then you can start wrapping it around. Okay, so let me just show here below what we actually want to do with stone. So a stone, you want to draw very sharp and kind of crisply. You don't want to make soft lines like this for a stone. You want to make straight lines, as thin and as crisp as possible, and something like that. And then you actually want to overlap them a bit. So something like that, and every now and then you're going to make a small one. So you can decide now if you want to go for kind of thin stacked stones or ones that have horizontal pieces in and so forth, and then every now and then you can leave like one at an angle like that. So you always want to go for variation. Okay, and then these gaps in between, you can make them dark, because that's actually what a stone wall looks like, doesn't it? So let's say this is the bottom there, and we put one large stone there. So we'll leave maybe that gap. That's not good. Anyway, so you want to also rendering in one direction. You just want to, you can even use a thick line to fill that up, and so forth. And you're actually just going over these edges. And please note the thin, crisp lines as opposed to thick, hairy lines that you don't want. And you can, even on individual stones here and there, make a bit of texture or whatever. Let's say you can see like part of that stone there, but not too much. Okay, so coming back to our wall, we can now obviously at a smaller scale start off with a nice one, and that one's going to be in 3D, obviously something like that. And you must vary them, horizontal ones, vertical ones, and then I like to make kind of a, so I want to try and keep them in a row, more or less in rows like this, but one also every now and then wants to get one that goes across, like something like that. And I'm going to keep them crisp, and you can vary the line weight a little bit here and there. Small one there, because when they build stone walls, they put in these filler stones. So, but once you get moving, what I like to do is I sometimes make these textures that represent stones, but they don't really, something like that. And now I'm going to turn my page. I'm going to put some stones in there. Keeping in mind that you want to give the appearance of 3D space, and then you draw these obviously a bit flat because they're now from the top. And if you want to, you can just take that one around. So this is a long thin stone there, so forth. You see, I'm just building up these lines, and then if you really want to, you can go and show, because stones have depth, but not too much of this. You just want to make these like dark fills here and there, but not everywhere, alright, the whole drawing. Just want to show this, and especially at the bottom, you'd like to tie your stone wall to the ground, and just say, put something here, line over here. And you can define edges, these edges, just by a bit of a thicker line, just to show that this is where our wall is. And you can take these dark filler gaps around the corners in 3D as well. But I would say about something like that. I wouldn't go further than that. And every year, now and then, you can put a bit of a texture on one stone. Also just in one direction. Like that, and then of course you can also go across and something like that, but I would stick to more or less that. Thank you.